This is the Orchidaceae family, the orchid family class according to Bentham and Coe system of classification class Monocotyledone series Microspermae family Orchidaceae, and the some of plant species which belongs to this family are Bulbophyllum nigrans, Cymbidium aloifolium, Cypripedium calceolus, Dendrobium herbaceum, Geodorum densifolium, Habenaria ramayana, Habenaria roxburghi, Malaxis radii, Oberania ensiformis, Onicidium altissimus, Orchis maculata, Phaphiopetalum hirsutissimum, Spathoglatis plicata, Vanda tessellata, and the vanilla fragrance. These are the plant species pictures of the orchids. Bulbophyllum nilogarensis, Cymbidium alofolium, Cypripedium calceolus, Dendrobium herbaceum, Geodorum densifolium, Habenaria ramayana, Habenaria roxburghi, Molaxis radii, Oberania ensiformis, Onicidium altissimus, Orchis maculata, Spathoglatis plicata, Papiopetalum hirsutissimum, Vanda tessellata, vanilla fragrance. And Orchidaceae is one of the largest family of flowering plants, representing about 1,000 genera and 28,000 species, which are cosmopolitan in distribution but primarily distributed in tropical regions. In Indian flora, Orchidaceae is the second largest family, representing with 130 genera and 880 species, mainly distributed in eastern Himalayas and western Ghats and Khasi Hills. About the habit, they are the perennial herbs, either terrestrial like orchids or epiphytic like Cattleya, Cypripedium, and Vanda, or some of the species are saprophytes like Neotia. The orchids in the temperate regions are terrestrial, while those of tropical regions are epiphytic in nature. Sometimes they are climbers are also like Bulbophyllum and Vanilla. The epiphytic orchids contain pseudobulbs consisting one or more thickened internodes. Coming to vegetative characters, the root system, which is an adventitious root system, which shows the two types of roots, attaching roots as well as velamen roots. Velamen roots are the characteristic feature of epiphyte species. And the stem, which is an aerial, erect, leafy in nature, herbaceous, sympodium in dendrobium, or monopodial in vanda. And leaves are the simple leaves. They are alternate in nature, entire, encircling the stem with sheathing leaf base and shows parallel leaf venation. And the floral characters includes the inflorescence variable from racemose and paniculate in oncidium and simple spike or solitary cyme in cypripedium. The flower is bracteate, pedicellate, complete, bisexual or rarely unisexual, zygomorphic in nature, trimerous and epigynous. They are showy, beautifully colored and diverse in shape, size and color. And the perianth, the calyx and corolla together called as perianth and known as tepals, which are two involves of 3 plus 3. They are free, fleshy. The outer whorl green and the inner whorl is petaloid. Of this, posterior tepal is highly modified into labellum, often projected with a spur. The labellum is the uppermost petal but looks as located on the lower side of the flower in most orchids. This is due to twisting of the ovary 180 degrees from anterior to posterior side, or the pedicel bending back over the apex of the stem. This phenomenon is called as resupination. It enables the labellum to work as a landing place for pollinating insects. And the androecium, which is represented by two fused lateral stamens or one terminal stamen, the anthers are dithecous and introdes in nature. Pollen grains are aggregated into pollinia. The pollinia connected to a sticky thread called caudicle. Caudicle ends in a disc-shaped viscidin. Stigma, style, and stamens are adnate to form a single complex structure, column or gynandrium, which represent most characteristic structure of orchid flower. Gynoecium is tricarpellaris incarpus and the ovary is inferior, unilocular with many ovules or parietal placentation. Style 1 and the stigmas are three, of which the two lateral are the fertile in nature and a specialized one sterile stigma modified as a rostellum. And the fruit is a capsule containing very large number of small non-endospermic seeds. And the pollination of Orchidaceae well adapted for insect pollination due to several characteristic features such as large sized and gaudy perianth, pleasant smell, and presence of nectar secreted disc, the rostellum. The flowers are protandrous in nature. When an insect enters the flower, the pollinia gets attached on its body by their corticles. When the insect visits another flower, it may deposit the pollen grains on its stigmatic surface below the rostella, completing the process of pollination. In Ophrys, the cross pollination takes place in an interesting manner. As nectar and spur are absent in this species, the open flower externally resembles the queen bee, the female bee. Pollinia get attached to the body of the male bee, assuming the flower as a female bee, it is the male bee is attracted towards that flower. From such a flower, when the same male bee comes in contact with the mature pistil of another flower, pollination will be takes place. This is the picture of the Ophrys species. The open flower of Ophrys externally resembles the queen bee. On the left side, to that flower, the male bee is to be attaching. Pollinia gets attached to the body of male bee. And economic importance of this Orchidaceae family. Fruits of vanilla fragrance synonymous vanilla planifolia are the source of highly fragrant extract used in the perfumery and confectionery. Tuberous roots of habanera and orchis are edible and eaten during scarcity. Starchy tubers of Cymbidium, Eulofia, and Orchis are dried to form salep, which is of commerce use in culinary and medicinal purpose. Orchids are known throughout the world for their beautiful flowers of various forms, shapes, and highly attractive colors. The orchids grown in glass houses are Cattleya, the florist orchid, Cymbidium, Cypripedium, lady slipper, Dendrobium, habanera, fringe orchid, Oncidium, butterfly orchid, Orchis, the showy orchid, Paphiopedalum, Vanda, vanilla, Zeoxine.